Hi everybody, this is Mondays with Mike. Welcome back. This is a weekly video series where I coach people in real time, but I'm really answering questions. And what you're seeing from me on Mondays with Mike is how you are direct in answering a question. If you were watching me coach, then you'd see me ask a ton of questions. But since you can't answer my questions, I am left with receiving questions from you and answering them directly. That's why these segments are only 2.5 to 3 minutes long. Here's this week's question. Mike, I coached a guy who really wants to grow, but shuts down every time I challenge him. How do you open that door? I was working with a guy, coaching a guy who really wants to grow, but shuts down every time I challenge him. Well, first thing you do is a fearless self-inventory. How do you challenge him? You go, come on, man. That could be challenging them, but that could be off-putting. That could shut a person down. I want you to evaluate what challenging them looks like. It could be two sides of the continuum. If you are harsh and kind of in your face and really hard on a person, that's going to shut some people down. Even me, who's direct by nature, if you're hard on me or come at me too hard, not very smart. My doctor at the Mayo Clinic, I'm in the executive health program at the Mayo Clinic. It's brilliant. You should be in it no matter what. Executive health at Mayo. My doctor's awesome. Dr. Ressler's his name, and he is the perfect blend of being supportive and directive. So he asked me a question recently, and I gave him the answers in our pre-call. You know, you do the telemedicine thing before you go to the doctor to get poked and prodded. And he asked me a question. The answer was not probably in the best interest of my health. And so he said, well, when you're here, maybe we can talk about how to moderate that a little bit so that we get a little bit more heart health out of you for the long run. I'm like, that's so great. Do you see how he was sort of challenged me? But he said, I wonder if it would make sense, or maybe we can have that chat when I'm here. He didn't say, well, if you want to live, you better lay off the French fries. Didn't say that, right? So first thing you do is an inventory of what challenging people looks like to you. Second thing you do is it's better to challenge a person by using phrases like this. I wonder if it would make sense. Imagine a world where. What do you think would happen if we tried this experiment? Serve up the challenge in ways that allow them to imagine or create. I use the phrase, imagine a world, or I wonder if it would make sense multiple times a day. And very seldom does a person say, I don't know. They generally come up with an answer because it's about their thinking. If you're using those skills and the person still shuts down, point it out. You know, I notice when I ask certain questions of you, you tend to shut down or change the subject. I wonder what happens when I ask those questions, because I don't want you to do that. I want you to feel open, and I want to make sure we're on the same page. That would be helpful as well. Hope that's helpful for you. If this was helpful, imagine what it would be like if I answered a question for you. Maybe that would be a good idea. If you think it would be a good idea, or at least you're courageous enough to ask the question, please send me a question at info@mikestaver.com. That's info@mikestaver.com. I'll work it in very soon. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. We'd love to have you. Take care.